It is Wednesday, July 9th. The business markets in New York are open, and today's big number, a lot of zeros there, $22 billion. That is how much residential real estate was purchased in this country by Chinese buyers. That's over a one-year period ending in March, all according to a survey by the National Association of Realtors. Hey everyone, I'm Dan Kleffler in New York. So here to break down the numbers and to tell us what it means for the U.S. economy, Rick Newman from Yahoo Finance joining us this morning. So Rick, let me ask you about this. The wide shot on this, the survey found that foreign purchases of U.S. residential real estate jumped, in fact, 35% just in 1 year. I want to bring up this three-year chart of foreign investment here in the United States and ask you, what is the surge behind this?
U.S. real estate has been a good deal for foreign buyers. It's kind of that simple. A lot of things in favor of foreigners coming here to buy real estate. Of course, we know about the housing bust. Prices plummeted. There are a lot of people who have the money to pay cash for homes such as these, and they look at the opportunity to buy some property in the United States as a terrific opportunity. It's a great place to live compared to most other parts of the world. And when prices fall, people with money have said, I'm getting in on this.
Well, as we said, Chinese buyers are leading the way on all this. They're accounting, in fact, for nearly a quarter of that $92 billion. That just alone is a 20% year-to-year increase. What are the factors then for bringing in the Chinese investment then specifically? I mean, I understand that other countries are interested in American real estate, but why specifically China?
Well, in addition to U.S. real estate being a good deal, I think you've got a lot of people who have money in China who want to diversify, if you will. They could buy property in China, of course, but a lot of people feel there is a property bubble, a huge property bubble in China right now that's just waiting to burst. Apartment buildings just sitting empty and things like that. So they want to get some of that money someplace else. And what better place to put it than a place that's recovering from a bust where you might actually be making a great investment if you're willing to hold on to that property for a little while. So again, a lot of people in China are making money, a lot of entrepreneurs there with trying to figure out what to do with money. Nothing wrong with having a toehold in the United States. They might even be able to have their kids go to school over here, learn English, and escape what is looking like a property bubble in China.
Is it a blanket interest, or are there some states or some regions that are particular hotspots?
Oh, there's no surprise here. They're going after the hot markets, coastal markets. For Chinese and Asian buyers, they're interested in Los Angeles, San Francisco, maybe Arizona. New York attracts buyers from all over the world. Property prices in Manhattan have been skyrocketing lately because of foreign demand. And a lot of foreigners, Europeans and Latin Americans in particular, like Florida. So you can tell they're not just like closing their eyes and pointing to someplace on a U.S. map. They're probably picking places where they've done their research. They know these are good housing markets to start with, and they wouldn't mind spending some time in these places.
What's interesting, and I want to dive a little bit deeper into this, because the Chinese may be spending the most money, but in fact it is our neighbors to the north, Canadians, who are actually buying the most houses, right? Why is that?
Right, and the interesting disparity between the higher dollar number going to the Chinese and the higher number of homes going to Canadians tells you Chinese people are buying more expensive homes. That tells you a lot of wealthy people, whereas Canadians may be buying U.S. homes as weekend homes, vacation homes. Probably it's a lot of people who live close to the border and can easily get there. We have a lot of trade with Canada. Very easy to go back and forth across the border. So there's nothing, I don't think, unusual about that. But I also think even Canadians, Canada didn't have a housing bust the way we did, so they never had that big drop in prices. So I think even Canadians who are smart investors might have said, this is a great time to get into the U.S. housing market, and they've come here and taken advantage of low prices and also low interest rates. So
given this kind of foreign interest, there's really two ways you can look at this. Either one, we're an incredibly hot commodity, or two, we can't afford our own property. What's the prevailing opinion?
I think it's both of those things, honestly, Dan. There clearly is a problem with Americans, with especially first-time home buyers having a hard time saving up for the 20% down payment they need. Also very difficult to get loans these days. Meanwhile, you've got people in the middle of the market who can't sell because they've lost value in their home and they're underwater. So our if this were just the U.S. market, it's very gunked up. You've got people coming in from outside the United States who don't have those problems. A lot of these buyers are paying cash, so they don't have to deal with a loan. It's a terrific opportunity for them, and this will actually sort of lubricate our market a little bit, get some activity going. I mean, it's a good thing if you've got people who are buying homes really from no matter where they're from, because that is going to increase demand for homes and get the whole thing restarted again. And it's also going to lift prices. So you need all of those things to happen in order for this overall market to recover. And it has to start somewhere. So I don't think we should complain about where this demand for U.S. housing is coming from. I think we should be happy that we actually live in such a dynamic place that people want to buy homes here.
Everyone wants a piece of us. Of us. Rick Newman from Yahoo Finance. I'm going to try not to get fired today. Thank you so much for joining us. You can keep up with the latest headlines right here on abcnews.com. You've been watching The Big Number. I'm Dan Kleffler in New York.